98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.
This is 98FM's Dublin Talks. I'm Adrian Kennedy with you until midday today. Our next story is a local story about a woman called Tricia. She lives in Berryfield in Finglas, where she's been living for over 20 years now. And she now claims that her mental health is suffering over her living conditions and nobody is doing anything to help. And she joins me on the line. Tricia, welcome to 98FM.
Thank you.
Tricia, tell me a bit about your story. What is happening to your living conditions?
Well, at the moment, I live in number 24 Berryfield Drive in Finglas South. I have a daughter that is 30 years old, which I've been living here. I have great neighbours, but at the moment my health is suffering. I got bit by, I don't know what. I don't know what it was, whether it was a fly, a wasp or anything, but at the moment there's rubbish in the lane, which has been going on for a long, long time.
Okay, so this is the lane at the back of your house?
Right at the back of my house. We tried to get that lane shut around 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. Everyone signed the petition, bar two people, which Desi Ellis, my local TD, wouldn't let me know.
Okay.
Potted me off. And it was two people... Two people didn't want it to be closed off, so we kind of just let it go. I was fighting a lost cause.
Okay, so so the lane at the back of your house, you years ago wanted to get it closed off, but it wasn't because two people wouldn't sign the petition.
That's it, yeah.
Why at the time did you want that lane closed off?
Because all the rubbish being dumped there, and when it was dumped right up against my back wall. I've been years trying to get rid of the mice, blue bottles, flies, the smell, everything.
Right. Now, years later...
it's still the same way.
It's still the same way. And with the warm weather we've had over the last couple of weeks, I should imagine it's rancid, is it?
It's rampant. I bought mouse traps. I placed them out in the back garden to try catch the mice instead of them coming into the house. And instead of catching the mice, I was catching small birds in the traps. I can't open the back door because the blue bottles are flying in.
And what sort of rubbish are people dumping in the laneway?
Whatever rubbish possible that you can name it, it's there. I sent you in some videos.
Yeah, no, I've
taking the rubbish.
I've seen the videos. My God, it's disgusting. It really is. And
yeah, well, that's in the front now as well, because I rang 2.5 weeks ago. I rang Dublin Corporation because there were seagulls that were dead, that was dumped outside. I swept them over to a wall. I put them in a pile. I rang the waste department in the Dublin Corporation to send somebody out to try get rid of them because of the worms and the blue bottles flying around them. And what have Dublin City Council done to get rid of the rubbish?
Nothing. Do they ever come along?
They did come along. They drove onto the road, reversed, and drove back out, the sweepers.
And didn't take the rubbish away?
No. I chased them as I was coming in with me shopping in a taxi with a neighbour. I chased after the lorry, but it went straight out. It decided to take someone else's rubbish instead of taking the rubbish where it was supposed to be taken from.
Right, so
to this day, the birds are still there and the blue bottles are still flying around it. So I can't open the front neither. I can't sit in the front.
So you literally can't go outside your house for the filth that's around?
No, I can't now because I was bitten on Friday by I don't know what. I woke up with a little pimple on my knee, and as I had showered, I picked it and cleaned the square, as you do. I popped it, and I cleaned all around it, and I left it, and the next morning I got up and my leg was swollen. So I went into the Mater Hospital, and they had a look at it, and they told me I got cellulitis, and I'm on 2 courses of penicillin, very strong penicillin, which has me very sick and my leg is very sore. So I'm more or less confined. I can't go out walking my dog.
No, you're convinced that this bite from whatever it was is because of the heat and the rubbish?
Yeah. I don't know whether it was from the seagulls, because another day I went out, there was rotten chicken fillet breasts with chandlers and blue bottles flying all around them as well. And they were swept over into the pile. So that pile has been there for 2.5 weeks in a 30-degree heat With the rubbish at the back of the lane, that is the same thing. The mice were playing soldiers in the garden. The blue bottles are flying left, right and centre. I can't open the windows. I can't hear the house because I'm running around the house, shutting them all again and trying to kill whatever's in the house with the fly killer spray. And I have to live like this, and this is going on a very long time.
And as regards Dublin City Council, you're saying that they have done nothing, and this has gone on for years.
Nothing. I went to Desi Ellis, and he's been coming up. He said he came up. He didn't come up to me. He went to a neighbour because she was giving out over people climbing the walls and going through the gardens, which to use mine as well. So I didn't really mind that as such.
No, I know we've been on to Desi Ellis's office and they are listening to this at this moment. So
I don't care whether he's listening. He is a very rude man. He has promised me for the last 2 weeks he would drop up to see me.
Tricia, you were saying to us earlier on off air that this is now having a really bad effect on your mental health.
Yes.
How?
Yes, it is. Because I can't go to bed at night because I have to make sure there's no blue bottles in the house because the noise of them flying all around the place, it's drummed into me head now, the sound. So when I'm trying to relax at night, I can't because I can hear the blue bottles somewhere in the house. With the infection I have, I don't want to be bitten anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going around spraying things during the night to make sure there's nothing there so I can sleep. And then as soon as I get up in the morning, I try to open, with the house being so warm, I try to open the windows and in comes the blue bottles. So I'm actually fighting with flies.
So you literally feel trapped in your own house, like?
Yes, I am trapped because the rubbish is in the front and the rubbish is in the back. The rubbish is actually everywhere on the road.
Not just out the back?
It's not just out the back, it's out the front. There's piles of rubbish, there's bits of cars, there's rubbish everywhere.
And without naming names, Tricia, who's dumping this rubbish?
There could be anybody and everyone. Like, I've great neighbours, don't get me wrong. Like, and some of them have complained. They've come down with the lorry taking it away. But it's all back there again, but it's higher this time. Now, I sent you in some videos of the lorry taking it away.
Yeah,
now,
I've seen them, yeah.
It's like the tip. So as they're lifting that, the flies are flying. I have a dog that's out the back. The dog is chasing the flies. So I can't open the door sometimes to take the dog in because they're flying in on top of me. So I can't leave food out because I'm afraid they're going to land on it, which blue bottles do land on food and shit on it. And I don't want to get any more infections what I have. I'm just at my wit's end with everything. I've tried with Desi. 5 times he fobbed me off. He got 9 phone calls from me. I can tell you the times and all. I rang him last night at 10 to 11. I said, Desi, I suppose you're not coming down tonight. He said, no, I'm at to being in the hospital with Anne. Now, who Anne, I think is his partner, I don't know.
Okay, well, as I said, we've been on to Desi's office and we will get a statement from him. I believe he's in meetings as we speak, but we will get his office are listening to this conversation and we will get answers. But you want him to come down, have a look and please get something done about it.
He still hasn't come down. He hung up on me. So I left an answer. I told him, I said, what do I have to do? Go in the door and make a show you and blacken your name for you to just do something about this area? I said, with the dirt, it's infested with blue bottles, ants, maggots. I said, you have to walk out. I said, I spent a lot of money trying to make a home for me and my daughter here. My mother comes up here. She's waiting to have a knee operation done. She's just had a hip done. And if she'd have got bitten, she's 82 years old. What state would I have been in? My father only died in January. I don't want to lose my mother to a fly or a wasp or a blue bottle or an infection.
Oh, no, I don't blame you. It sounds disgusting.
The bacteria is flying everywhere.
It sounds disgusting.
They took the rubbish away. They took the rubbish away, all right, but they left the remains of everything behind. They didn't come and wash it or sweep it. They didn't do nothing. The flies are still there.
Okay, stay there for a second. Stephen, you're on 98FM. How are you, Stephen?
How are you doing? I want to apologise to that woman for her troubles and her illness and everything else, but let's not blame the council and everything.
I reported that. I
Yeah, but hang on,
reported this to the council
Yeah,
2
why you
weeks
blame-
ago. The waste
You're not listening.
department. She
You're
said
not-
Let him, hang on,
she didn't.
Tricia, let him speak. Go on, Stephen.
You're not. Why are you blaming the council? What about the scumbags on your road that's putting all the rubbish there, knocking all their doors? I'm sure you know who's doing it.
I'm not pointing fingers at anybody.
Well, then
It's
don't
not
be
only
blaming the
people on
council then.
road. I'm
Don't be blaming the
because they're
council
not
then.
doing their job.
Well, hang on.
No,
It's not.
they go
Hang on,
around in lorries.
Tricia.
They go
Tricia. In
around
fairness,
in lorries.
it is not Dublin City Council
And
that's dumping the rubbish
bypassing all
there.
this rubbish.
Tricia, it is not the council that's dumping the rubbish there.
We know it's not the council that's
Yeah,
dumping
but I'm
the
sure-
rubbish
I'm
there.
sure you know
But
who
they
is.
get paid the job to go and pick rubbish up. There's cleaners go around, foreign people, they pick it up by hand with a little squeaky thing. They're going around in big trucks and bypass it. Oh yeah, but if you give them a few bob, they'll take your rubbish.
Yeah, but hang on. You're blaming the council. I'm sure you know who's dumping your rubbish. You know well who's doing
I
it.
go to bed at night. I don't know. You get up in the morning. You look over the wall and there's more. You look out the front and there's more.
And that's the council's
I live
fault.
a normal life like everyone else, which
And
I
that's
can't
the
do at the
council's
moment.
fault. And that's the council's fault. Why don't you do whatever your neighbourhood does? They all get together and they clean it all up themselves. Because the council don't have the council don't have the money to babysit. The council don't have the money.
But okay, Stephen, hang on for 1 second.
Around here would tell you I sweep where I live.
Okay, Stephen, this woman didn't put the
And it's
rubbish
not
there
my
herself,
rubbish.
okay?
shouldn't have to
I know
close
she
that
didn't, but the
road and
council,
sweep
like
our
everyone in neighbourhoods, what they do, they get together to make the place cleaner. The council don't have actually the money to go around constantly, if it's so bad there, to clean up after the same people over and over again, which are paying €23 rent a week. Do you know what I mean? So that you don't have the money
I
to
pay for
carry
my
people.
bins. My rubbish goes out in the bins.
So why do you want the council to go and clean up after
And I
you?
don't see any of
But
my
it's not.
neighbours
Hang on,
throwing rubbish out.
hang on,
There's
Stephen.
people
Stephen,
come from all areas to throw rubbish
that's what I was
there.
about to say. Stephen, you wouldn't be happy if you were living with that rubbish outside your back door. And I understand what you're saying. Get out and clean it yourself. Realistically, if she's not causing the mess, why should she have to get out and clean?
But you know,
did you hear? Hang on. Did you hear the? Tricia, can you do me a favour? Stephen, stay there for 1 second. Can you describe to me what is outside your back right now?
Well, I sent you the videos. There was mattresses, there was chairs, there was rubbish, house rubbish, there was hedgings, there was wires, there was sticks, there was decking, there was everything.
And this is all then being swarmed by blue bottles and
swarmed with
chandlers and all of that.
Chandlers, everything, anything you could go. You went to the Dublin Dunsink tip. What's there was out there.
And that's the council's fault. That's right, yeah. Just all get together
I'm
and
not
clean it
saying
all up
it's the
then.
council's fault. I reported it for them to come and try clean it and do something about it.
I'm going
they
by
said
what you're
they'd
saying.
send somebody out. Nobody came.
Going by what
Until
you're saying, the
yesterday
council
morning
should move in on
at
site
20
today.
past 6. 20 past 6, a lorry pulled in and he left at 5 past 7.
You see,
And the
Stephen,
lorry was
this is
full to the brim.
okay. When I hear of a woman ending up in hospital, developing sepsis as a result of being bitten by something that she honestly believes.
It's my fault.
Sorry, that's what I was about to say to him. Ends up in hospital as a result of a bite from something that's definitely been attracted there by the rubbish that's around. You can't blame her being angry.
Yes, but don't be blaming the council and the local PDs
But
on
this,
it all.
hang on, this is a health and safety issue now.
Well, then go
I'm
and
blaming
clean the
my
thing
local
then.
TD because 5 times he said he was coming to my door
And we all-
to speak
and we
to
all-
me, and 5 times he let me down.
And we all
I
know
rang my
Desi Ellis is
10-11
useless.
last night.
Hang on,
and he
lads,
hung
this
up
isn't
on
the
me.
Desi Ellis debating society here. We're not going to lash the man out of it. He's not on the phone to defend himself.
He is my local politician.
I understand
I
that.
vote for him. I should be able
Trish,
to
I
speak
understand
to
that.
him.
We have reached out to Desi Ellis. He's apparently in meetings now, but we will get a statement from him at some stage today. We won't let this go, okay? And we won't let him ignore you anymore. Stay there for a second. Bernadette, you're living in Drimna,
I live in Mourne Road in Drimna, yes.
and you're having the exact same problem.
Well kept, well looked after. Everyone uses bins. Everyone pays for the rubbish. But over the last 6 or 7
Well,
weeks,
not everybody does, but yeah, go on.
well, I just told the council last week I won't be paying for my bins anymore. But they're going to take my rubbish now and put it up at the corner and let whoever wants to collect it. We never had it before, Adrian. Never. And it's obviously coming out of cars. It's coming. Someone's coming up there at night and dumping bags right on the corner. If you know the Cooley Road roundabout,
I do.
just there, the 2 houses beside me. That's where all the rubbish is being dumped, and I am not having it. So I gave me a callback number, and all the bags were since collected. But it's been going on regularly for the last 6 or 7 weeks. And we don't know who's doing it. There's a lot of houses that have been let out around here, whether it's coming from people who feel they don't need to pay, but I'm not paying for them.
So rather
she got right irate with me last week. I said, it's all right, Dad. If you tell me the county council is going to come down or you'll get them down, it's all right. I'll leave my bags out there from next week on.
And, well, what do you want the council to do?
I just want... I asked them about CCTV footage. Because seemingly, according to my paper delivery man, it's rampant. All around Rimna, it's rampant. People are not paying for the bins anymore, and they're holding the council responsible for the mess that the country is in. That said, we have a little bin truck, sweepers and shovels, and they've been passing them bags. And when I pointed out this to a woman last week, your sweepers don't even get out of the vans. We sweep our own spots, we take it in.
So
we don't even put it into the bin.
You want the council to catch the people who are responsible for this?
We'd like something done. If they put someone sitting on the streets, I don't care, Adrian. I'm not paying for other people's neglect.
Okay, so rather than as a means of protest, instead of putting your rubbish into your normal bin and paying for it, you're going to just fling it outside. I
told her I'd leave it on the corner. She told me, well, I'll get the council van down to collect it. I said, all right. I said, that's okay. Can I put my bags out there where they come down and collect mine? Me that has a history of paying for my dirt. And whatever, I said, pensioners paying that money, I said, for bin collections. I was having a laugh. I said, it's not happening. It's not happening. So you'd either find somebody to sit out around the area and try and catch them. That's the only other solution.
So what's your advice for Tricia here?
There's no money for CCTV, she said. They don't have the money.
Okay, but what advice would you give Tricia?
I would tell her to keep going with Desi. Tell her to keep going with Desi. To keep, if it's that bad that she's that infected from it, something will have to be done.
Okay, you see, Tricia, the reality of it is, Desi isn't the only politician in your area. There are many others. I understand you.
Well, Desi is. I know Desi all my life since I moved up here. My family know Desi, and I thought I could speak to Desi. But the way he's stopping me off for the last 5 times,
he's not personally going to be picking up the rubbish for you. In fairness,
no, I know that. But he has the power to do something about it, and I feel he's not doing it. He's saying, like with the infection on my leg yesterday when I rang him, he said he'd try to get down to take a photograph of my leg so he could show the waste department. Why didn't he come up and take it himself?
But okay,
and see what I'm on
hang on for 1 second. Desi is a TD.
I know that.
But he's not on Dublin City Council anymore.
I know that. But
so
he still has
this is a Dublin City Council issue.
I reported it to the waste department in the City Dublin Council as well.
But you're not listening to what I said.
Oh, they will send somebody out.
You're not listening to what I said. Yes, Desi is your local TD, but he is not on Dublin City Council, and Dublin City Council are the ones responsible for the rubbish, for keeping the area. You know, you're a Dublin City Council tenant.
Yes, I know that, but I knew that Desi has contacts. Believe me. Desi knows me, and I know.
Okay,
Desi.
but
don't get me wrong.
I would also be reaching out.
People, but I thought he would have helped me out in this situation.
Okay, I would also be reaching out to hang on for 1 second. I'd also be reaching out to other councillors, not necessarily TDs, to councillors from Dublin City Council. Bernie, you're on 98FM. Hi, Bernie.
How you doing?
Now, you were saying that you live in Hanover Quay, and it's just as bad there too.
Well, listen, on several occasions when I was going out to work fairly early in the morning, I have seen people dropping litter bags by the rubbish bins here around Hanover Reach, Hanover Quay direction. The Grand Canal Square here, very popular for lunches during the day and in the evening, and especially the weekends, maybe when there's something going on. Our place here is being left like an absolute tip. The rubbish bins aren't sufficient enough to take the rubbish that's left by people frequenting the square. And again, there's some people that, you know, rather than put their waste in bins, will leave them at the side of the rubbish bins on the way to work in the morning.
Yeah, I've actually seen that happening myself, and it is disgusting.
I have seen a guy on a bike. I've seen a guy on a bike come up, pedal past, stop, take his litter bin our litter bag off his bike and dump it at the Nightside HQ here.
I know it
So
is.
it's a big problem everywhere.
It is a big problem everywhere. I agree. The difference, like I said, I've seen rubbish around where we live, but it's not outside our back door. Like it is with Tricia. It's just been dumped in country lanes and stuff like that. It has to be awful when it is dumped at literally over your back wall. Tricia, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to keep on top of this. We're going to get in contact with as many local councillors as we can and try and get something done to get that rubbish out of there, because when I hear it described as this is a health issue for you now.
Yes, of course it is. It's driving me mental altogether. I am sick to my gut now. Like, my leg is in an awful state. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I'm worried sick over my leg. I don't know whether I'm going to end back in hospital or not.
Okay, let me just read out.
If you could just see my leg.
And I've seen.
It looks like an elephant's leg I'm wearing.
I've seen sepsis on friends of mine, and my God, it is nasty. It is very, very nasty. But if you're on the, what did you say you're on?
I'm on 2 courses of penicillin.
And I know
four times a day.
I know with a friend of mine that did clear it up, but that could have been a bite from God knows what. Could have been a spider bite or
with all these foreign insects and all that's coming into the country. I don't know.
Okay, let me read out let me just read out a couple of messages before I wrap this up. The council has money to do up roundabouts and clean around shops, but not clean anywhere else. It's misuse of money, says that person. And another one, the council have a duty of care towards their tenants like any landlord. John is giving out about that bloke that was on a couple of minutes ago. And then other people, let me see. The council are really lazy. You see them driving around with empty trucks, but pay them, they will take anything.
Yes.
No, I don't see why you should have to pay them now, to be honest. Dublin City Council should do their jobs and help these people with the rubbish being left in their areas. We are going to keep on top of this. It is absolutely disgusting what you're having to put up with, Tricia, and your neighbours as well. I assume your neighbours are equally free.
I have great neighbours along here.
But I have
very good neighbours.
I assume they're equally annoyed, are they?
Yes, of course they are. When you look out, well, if you get up in the morning and you see like chandeliers and like the first thing in the morning, you're supposed to get up and look at the sun and walk out and go happy in the morning. But no, I just face as long as I don't know what. I am stressed out to me tether.
All right, well, look, the best of luck to you, Tricia. We are going to keep on top of this and we'll be in touch with you, and hopefully we'll get something done by you going public in this way over the next couple of days. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, there you go. We will deal with that. We will keep on top of that. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.